Welcome to the Intuitive Hour with psychic medium, author, and intuitive life coach, Michelle Beltran. The Intuitive Hour will empower you to learn how to magnify your intuitive voice. Listen in and expand your understanding of what it means to be psychic and how to awaken, amplify, and trust your inner voice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's a pleasure to have you all here with me today in another episode of the Intuitive Hour. Awaken your inner voice. Welcome. All right, we're talking about the power of distant healings, how to heal yourself and others, and essentially how to offer a distant healing. Before we go into the steps about how to offer a distant healing, I just want to talk a little bit about what a distant healing really is and the things to be mindful of as you proceed forward in this kind of work. Many of you are probably aware that distant healing is an alternative form of healing the body and the energy auric space around the body. When a person offering a healing is involved in this kind of work, they're sending energy and healing and intention, even emotion at times, to the receiver. The healer and the healee don't need to be in the same place for this to be effective. And remember that as a healer, you're sending positive energy across the universe, across energy lines, and this can even take place during a phone session. So both people aren't in the same place. Clearly, we know this, but this type of healing is still accessible through that body energy field, that auric field, which doesn't involve, as we know, any physical presence. It is simply mental, emotional, and physical aspects, giving and receiving of these three things through the energy body. Okay, so there are several misconceptions about how distant healing works. So this kind of remote healing, as I've mentioned, uses positive energy, positive flow through a healing process, and it's very much like Reiki. If you've had a Reiki healing or offered this is quite similar. And so, expanding from that sort of healing, energy can be transmitted, then we know, in three different ways. If you've worked in Reiki healing, you know that a little bit about energy and how it works. And so this is similar again, and it's transmitted through emotion, intention, and thought. Energy is transmitted in one of these three ways. So, expanding on that a little bit further, this perception that everything, including space and time, is fixed and only moves forward, really keeps many of us stuck in this physical world and then unable to manifest the positive changes that we want. When people are grounded in a limited physical existence, grounded not in the way that we talk about grounding ourselves at the Intuitive Hour here as a psychic fundamental tool. When I say grounded, I mean more of an energy of kind of stuck in that limited physical existence. Okay, so in that context, they go about their lives without making any significant changes. They're just too stuck and grounded and feeling limited. So now, when it comes to healing and remote healings, many shaman and healers believe that all time is an illusion. And so if that's the case, the concept that people always have to be stuck in circumstances, stuck in that grounded too grounded sort of way. If that's the case, then people always have to be stuck in these circumstances they can't change is also an illusion. Remember that matter is made up of energy and atoms. Harnessing energy is vital to distant healing. When a person has an energetic or psychic block, all of the body's energy centers are misaligned. This misalignment can actually cause energy blockages, make us feel stuck. The practitioner or the healer, the shaman, the energy worker will focus their intention on the remote healee, intending a specific effect. Again, using that emotion, intention, or thought, sending that positive flow and energy. The recipient simply receives those intentions, and energy then shifts and moves, creating the healing. All right, so a little bit about distant healing, distant healers, and what they're doing, and is this really effective? So usually a healer will first have some sort of understanding of the healee's medical history. That would include anything unusual that healee may be experiencing. So as you segue into this work, any kind of healing energy, please do have an understanding of that person's prior medical history that you're offering the healing on. Your healee will need to be relaxed, as we would expect, and in a quiet place where they're not disturbed. The healer, again, will send that positive energy flow to the healee. And again, this can be by phone, telepathically. Distance matters not. And during the session, the healer is most likely going to pick up or receive issues that the healee may not be aware of and go beyond any kind of medical history or physical or anatomical issues going on within the healee. Let's go ahead and move right into specific steps when you're offering a distant healing. Remember that healing others can be done on someone in person or from a distance. Both are equally effective. From a distance, you will do this with your mind's eye, in deep meditation, visualizing the healee. And also, since you are at a distance, you might choose to use a doll or a stuffed animal and put that on a chair to represent the person that you're offering the healing to afar. All right, so we're going to navigate through about 20 steps in offering this healing. Step number 1. State your prayer of protection and set up a protection rose. This will allow for healthy space boundaries and protection for both of you in this work. I want to refer you to previous episodes in the Intuitive Hour on how to set up a protection rose and how to create a prayer of protection for yourself. Number 2, ground yourself in the healee. Also recommend that you revisit the former episode on how to ground and how to run energy here at the Intuitive Hour. Very simple technique, but you'll want to do this for yourself and your healee. Step 3, you'll want to run earth and cosmic energy for 20 minutes. This too is a previous episode at the Intuitive Hour. Step 4, calling in your healing guides or your spirit guides. Some of you already working in medicinal sorts of practices, Reiki, shaman work, you've already got some healing guides. If not, it's okay. You can call in your spirit guides. And if you have neither, yet again, there is a previous episode here at the Intuitive Hour that will help you to bring in and access support from your spirit guides. So you can see that the first most important steps of offering this healing are those very vital psychic development tools: prayer of protection, protection rose, grounding yourself, running earth and cosmic energy, and then finally connecting with your spirit guides. All right, step 5. Asking the healee if they would like a healing and receiving an affirmative response. Now, typically, you would have already asked them for this previously. However, it is good, ethical, reasonable procedure to go ahead and, even in the moments before you're beginning, make that request. And even if they're afar, you can get an energetic response back in the positive. So look for that. All right, step 6. Remind your healee to put their feet flat on the ground and to sit upright and keep their eyes open for the healing. We don't want them to fall asleep. We want them to be present. Their eyes don't need to close. Even if they're from afar, you can offer this instruction to them during the time that you're offering the healing. Step 7. Tune into the space slightly above their 7th chakra and your 7th chakra and match that energy emitting from each of the top of your head in that 7th chakra. Imagine a beam of light from your 7th chakra to theirs, matching, syncing. I like to imagine a color, and then I match that shade and a sort of a beam of light, the same color on the top of my healee's head in their 7th chakra. This will allow the blending of your energies and a deeper syncing and connection. 8. Imagine the aura around the healee coming in close to their body as if to snuggle them. So if you're standing in front of the stuffed animal or the doll you've placed on the chair, imagine that is your healee, of course, and the aura is around that doll or stuffed animal. And take your hands and just gradually snuggle the aura in close to their body, almost as if you're just sort of touching a pillow, the edges of a pillow, and bringing it in closely. Just tucking it in. Think of it that way, tucking in the aura all around the body, and take a few moments to go from the top of the head, around the shoulders, the front of the body, down to the midsection of the body, down into the legs and feet, and just snuggle that aura close in. A lot of times what happens is the aura expands, and it expands very far, many, many feet out beyond your healee, and that actually creates a sense of scattered energy for your healee. Your aura should be only about a foot or an arm's reach out from you. And so if an aura is all the way extended to the walls in the room or further, then that aura is too far out, creating that scattered sense of nervous energy. So just call it back in and snuggle it in. Number 9, combing the aura. So imagine that your fingers, perhaps your fingertips, are the comb part of a comb or a brush. And so you're just going to comb and brush and soothe the aura. This is a technique akin to brushing of the energy to support it back into alignment and flow. You're looking here for heavy energy, something that feels heavy or stuck. You might notice a sensation of gooey or lethargic, or tears or rips, a blocky sort of feeling. Pay attention using all of your senses, of course: sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. But as you comb the aura, most likely it's gonna be something you feel. And this is heightened and subtle, by the way. But you'll use your hands and your fingers in a combing-like fashion, brushing the aura and the area around their entire body, and sealing any tears, releasing any heavy energies. Whatever does not feel right or belong, it will be combed out and away, just the same way you comb out a tangle in someone's hair, or your hair if you have one. All right, step 10. As you comb, check for tears and blockages. We talked a little bit about this a moment ago. You may have a sense of this intuitively. If there are any of these tears or holes or rips, you'll have kind of a sensation about that. Hold that space with the help of your guides now, and send healing energy to these areas. As you notice these areas, take a moment there, stop, and ask this energy no longer serving the healee to leave, and just hold that space in a healing energy, bringing that positive flow to it. All right, step 11. You remember that you have given this healee a grounding cord. You have grounded them, and they now have a cord for healthy flow, right? They're releasing, as you're healing, anything that is no longer serving them through that grounding cord. Whatever is not in place, it now flows out and away. So you want to check that grounding cord as you're proceeding in this healing, and ensure that it is flowing, and that those things that are no longer serving the healee are in fact releasing. Step 12. There are 2 tiny feet chakras in the arch of our feet. Your healee, of course, included in that. So be sure to go to those tiny 2 feet chakras and hold that space as well, sending that positive energy flow of healing and love and light, asking that anything that is not serving this healee now leave. Any lethargic energy will just float away out through those cords, or else down the grounding cord. Then you'll want to bring in healing gold energy to these areas. So imagine that gold sort of energy, soothing, healing, coming into these spaces, assisting in moving out stuck energy that no longer serves your healee. Step 13, bringing up earth energy through those feet chakras. So now that you've sort of cleaned them out and brought in gold energy to soothe and heal, we want to bring and access some of that divine earth energy deep within the earth. So we want to ask in an energetic, of course, healing intention, reach down into the earth and bring up that right bit of earth energy, and ask that earth energy come up through the feet chakras into your healee, into their legs, then into their first chakra, and then back down their legs, and then out that grounding cord. So it's going to come up through the earth energy is going to come upward through their tiny feet chakras, up their legs to that first chakra, arc back down directly, and go out the grounding cord. So we want this flow of earth energy up through those feet chakras and down out the grounding cord. 14, step 14. We've brought in earth energy up through the legs, through that first chakra, and back down. Now we're going to access cosmic energy up from the cosmos, divine cosmic energy. And so in the same light, we're going to reach up energetically, up far into the cosmos, and find that perfect handful of cosmic energy for this healee from high above. You don't need to go there into the cosmic energy field. Just set an intention to sort of energetically reach to that perfect space and have it come to you down in through the healee's seventh chakra. Now, as it comes down into the seventh chakra, it's going to go down the 4 energy channels in their back. If you've done any kind of Reiki work or chi work, acupuncture work, you know that there are 4 major channels of flow through the back. This is where that cosmic energy is going to flow down through, all the way down and then out the grounding cord. So now we have a nice mix of earth and cosmic energy flowing through the healee. All right. Step 15, we're going to check the chakras one by one, starting at the first chakra and working with the back side and the front side of each chakra. Chakras are designed so that the front side spins in one direction and the back side spins in the opposite direction rather. And there's a rhythm to that spinning. So we're going to go to each chakra, one hand, again, not touching the body or not touching the doll or stuffed animal that you may be using as an interim healee. One hand just a few inches out from the front of the first chakra, the other hand a few inches out from the back of the chakra. So you'll be standing beside your healee to do this. And you'll hold that space with each hand one out from the belly just a few inches, one out from the back a few inches, and just holding that and setting the intention that the rotation and the rhythm of each chakra is aligning. That flow is happening. You're sending that positive energy and thought with an intention to heal. You're asking and you'll go through each chakra, the first, and you'll spend 30 seconds to a minute at each chakra and just holding that energy and releasing, asking that there is a releasing of what is no longer serving this healee. Calling in that healing gold energy as you did in those tiny feet chakras. I'll ask that come in and soothe each chakra. Remember that the chakras should be in a balanced spin. Your holding of these areas will support that spin to realign. Okay, step 16, creating a gold sun. We can also think of this as a bubble above the healee's head. We want to create that gold sun or that bubble above their head and imagine the date and time. Give that bubble a date and time. The present date and time now that you're offering that healing. And ask the highest vibration energy necessary come for this healee and flow into that gold sun. For example, you're asking what is necessary for this healee's best interest: joy, love, empowerment, healthy vibration. Whatever it is you sense this healee needs, we want that highest vibration energy to flow into this golden sun that you have given a date and time to. Now, ask that your healee receive this healing energy that you have just sent into this golden divine bubble. It is now going to drop down into the 7th chakra of the healee and flow into their body. Flow into each chakra, flow into every aspect of their body, head to toe. This beautiful gold sun is being received by the healee. This will support them in staying on their path and creating their greatest potential in life, whatever that may be for them. Step 17. Be sure that as this gold sun is releasing into the seventh chakra of the healee, that it surrounds every aspect, every cell of the body. You may at this juncture use your hands as to guide that golden sun down into the body. So you'll do this by holding your hands around the healee and just sort of guiding that flow, almost like honey rolling down, soothing down into the healee's body. Every cell, through the back and the shoulders, down into the hips, legs. You'll take your time with this, at least a good minute to 2 minutes, to allow the slow flow gradually down into the body to be accepted by the healee. Step 18, we now want you as the healer to create your own gold sun energy. You'll do the same thing we just did, but put a gold sun above your head with all the things that your body, your heart, your soul feels like it needs. And then allow that gold sun to flow down into your own body. Here we are at the closure of the healing, and you're now taking time to balance out yourself. Release any energy cords and fill your own body with golden sun, divine energy you're needing. Finally, as this golden sun flows down, wash your hands with this golden healing energy. Allow anything that is not serving you to release from your hands. As you have come to a close, use the gold sun to wash your hands clean and fill up with your own divine source. And finally, we're brought to our final step, which is the creation and process of a separation rose for cleansing and releasing of any residual energy. The golden sun that you've created for yourself as the healer was the major step in this releasing and cleansing. But the final step in the closure is to create a process of the separation rose. Once again, I'd like to refer you to a prior episode at the Intuitive Hour on how to create a separation rose. It's quite simple. In brief summary, you're just going to imagine a rose out in front of you. You're going to ask that any of your energy that went to your healee and lingered there, ask that it go to that rose you've just created. And then you will ask any of the healee's energy that came to your space during this healing. Leave your space and go to that separation rose. And now you'll ask that that separation rose float up into the sky, and you'll watch as it absolves into the universe. All energies, all lingering energies, going now where it needs to go. You are complete. All right, distant healing, everyone, is an effective method of removing negative thought patterns that can affect a person's personality and behavior and overall life. A distant healing session can release negative energy cords and replace it with positive thoughts to improve your life and so much more. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you will explore this more. As always, with any questions or comments about this episode or any other, please do reach out. mbeltran@michellebeltran.com, or give us a call at 800-607-1770. Have a wonderful rest of your week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Intuitive Hour with Michelle Beltran. If you like what you heard, please share our podcast with a friend, and be sure to visit michellebeltran.com to get Michelle's popular Develop Your Clairvoyance ebook.